Rebecca, nice to meet you.
Rebecca.
Please have a seat.
Sure. And there's candy already in front of me.
I guess we're just candy about this, so I gave you candy.
Sweet. Hey guys, sorry I'm late. I thought, didn't know. You're just meeting people, and then all of a sudden someone's like, hey, you're like fierce. Anyway, we're all here now.
Yes,
And I'm alone.
And we have a lot of pictures. Yeah, actually, we were talking about that a little bit.
My sidekick is pulling.
Yes, but this side of the audience, and some people on this side. This side, they're a little rowdy. Yeah, they're a little rowdy.
She started it.
She got us going. It's all my fault, Kris. I'm really bad. He doesn't know how bad I am because we never worked together before, and we want to work together again. So we're going to open it up to questions.
I'm just eating your red M&Ms.
By the way, when you eat the red M&Ms, some of them have my face. You actually have to eat my face.
She's true. She's right.
That is not a joke, man. Okay.
How much sleep did you get?
It's just gonna get weirder, folks.
That's why we love you.
Go ahead, right here.
Hello.
Hi, Kris. So I know you're from Toronto, and you're now filming Lost Girl in Toronto. So I was wondering, what's it like to be filming in your hometown?
It's great. I chose Lost Girl. When Lost Girl came up, there was another show called Defying Gravity, which was on my plate at the same time. And one shot out of Vancouver, and one was in Toronto. And Defying Gravity was a big budget. It had a lot of good stuff going behind it. Same creators as Grey's Anatomy, Desperate Housewives.
Hellwives? Did you say Hellwives? I think you did. I think so, yeah. Depends on who you're married to.
That's that too. But there was something about Lost Girl, it was like the script really spoke to me. Michelle Lovretta wrote a great pilot script and also kept me in Toronto. I have a 5.5-year-old son. Back then he was only 1 year old. I was like, I do not want to film abroad. So, knock on wood, it was a great decision. Lost Girl's gone on to be all this.
And a bag of chips.
And having a good time, so.
The audience has definitely decided that you should be with Bo.
Yes. It's 7th season.
I'll pass that along, but chances are they're not going to give you any satisfaction until they find out for sure that we're not making any more episodes. And then who even knows how they'll do it. Right? You gotta stretch it out, right?
We're gonna cry.
We'd still watch. They don't have to torture us.
With Joan of Arc. No,
Are you okay? I'll stand up. Okay. First, I love you.
Thank you.
Lost Girl is you. Let's be honest. I guess my question would be, what is your favorite part about doing these cons?
It's meeting all the people. Like, absolutely.
All of us crazy fans.
Yeah, well, it's not just the fans of my show. I mean, I just love these. This is like, it's a venue where people can come and express themselves with passion and whatever they're really into without any feel of judgment or, you can just let it all out there. And
Yeah, I don't do that.
no. I just love environments like where people can be free to express what they're passionate about. So that's my favorite part.
Mine too. Okay, Braveheart? No.
No.
Braveheart with fangs.
Yes. I love you, Ty. Thank you for roaring with me in my picture. It was the best thing ever. I wanted to ask, what is your favorite band?
Oh, wow, that's a tough one. I don't really do favorites, like no favorite foods, because there's just so many awesome things in life that I can't really choose one over another. But lately, what have I been listening? Well, there's Passenger, who I got a lot of you guys are mentioning. Oh, they're fantastic. I discovered a little while ago, a buddy of mine hooked me up with, it's called Youth Lagoon. It's this dude who, this 18-year-old guy, and I think the album's called A Year Wasted of My Life, and he spent a year in his basement. He made this really cool, funky album called, I think something about A Year Wasted is but it's Youth Lagoon. my big ones that I always go to are like I love Citizen Cope, the Raconteurs. God, there's so many, but I'm like totally blanking on them right now. I've been getting into I'm getting into more of that folk kind of bluesy kind of stuff, you know. The Lumineers, they're great. I don't know. The list is long. Music is fantastic. The only I'm not going to say music. I like everything from classical to rap, like everything in between. It's awesome.
That's a great answer. And I'm going to thank you for that terrific question too. Go ahead.
Mine's not so much a question, but more a compliment.
We don't do this. We're
Apologies
on the other end. Exactly. I'm sorry.
I've seen many shows and movies that have done body swaps, and I have to say the episode where everybody involved
Original skin.
Maybe that was my closing.
better than anybody in that show, anybody else.
Thank you. You know, I had a great study too. I mean, Ksenia Solo and the character Kenzie.
Who's my favorite?
She's got like I won the lottery on that episode. It's like, I couldn't have done it wrong almost, but you know, Ksenia was great. We worked together a lot. I would go over to her condo. We would read the lines for each other. We would literally swap roles and kind of film each other doing them. And yeah, that was a lot of fun for us too.
I have a question, but I can't raise my hand.
Kenzie than she did
What?
with Dice.
Will you raise your hand?
Well, you know.
It's hard to do those kind of things. There's always somebody who doesn't get it quite right, and you just nail the whole thing.
Thank you. You know, she was, because Dyson has a bit of a funny posture, you know, he kind of stands like he's got this animalistic thing. And after she had done it for a couple of days, she's like, my back is killing me. And funnily enough, I didn't realize, but I sustained a back injury in season 2, and it was because I'd been doing this funny posture for so long that my muscles got in a weird sort of place, and then when I stressed them in a fight sequence, I blew out my back. And it was like, okay, so I can't walk around. So just so you know, walking around like this.
Right. With an arch in the back. You put that arch in your back the wrong way.
Just made a lot of people happy.
Really weird.
Filling a water bottle on the floor and having to pick it up.
I've been working on my blues lately, so thank you for noticing.
I have a question right here, and then Chris, I'll get to you, sir.
Hi, I was just wondering, is there any possibility that you might come next year with Ksenia Solo?
I hope so. Yeah.
We're gonna have
Ksenia, this weekend is a tough one because usually we would be filming right now, but we start on Monday actually, so I just kind of snuck it right in before. But you know, I know Ksenia wants to start doing these things, so I will definitely.
It'd be so awesome.
I was going to send you some of these things too.
Thank you.
She's a blast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole lot of
All right.
We would like a whole lot, that would be really kind of robbing us.
My question is a follow-up to my wife's comment. How was it determined who would swap into which body? Did the dog get names from a hat? Or did the writer
No, there
already
was the
have
writers. The
determined?
writers kind of, you know, they deliberated for a while, and I think they just kind of went like, who would be the funniest, who actually complements each other, and then all obviously story-wise, you know, like looking down the road. I think they wanted to build Ksenia and Dyson's. You know, Ksenia and I have such great chemistry. They wanted to sort of give us an opportunity to play with it a bit, and now Dyson and Kenzie have this. You know, they've been inside of each other literally, but not the P and the V kind.
Anyway, so bad. We never want to see that. Ever.
Raise your hand for me.
I'm going to go ahead. I'm not ignoring this side at all. I'm really sorry. I just don't see your hands. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's two-part. Between Young Girl Awakening and Lost Girl, which they really were filming one, and her movies over TV shows.
It's an interesting question. I mean, Dyson, as far as the characters go, Dyson is way more fun. You know, I get to do way more things.
The question.
And it kind of answers your second question too. In television, you get to explore a character over 60 hours. You know, if you because of that compartmentalization of that story, you get into it, 6 weeks, 2 months, whatever, you're in, you're out, and you're very deep focus, and really, it's balls to the wall. Whereas with a TV show, you gotta pace yourself, because we work 60 to 80-hour weeks sometimes. So it's like, if you're doing that for 6 to 8 months, you gotta chill out. And also, you gotta always be projecting your arc. And in TV, it's fun because you're always getting these scripts that you don't know what's gonna happen. Like people are asking, what's gonna happen in season 4? And the truth is, I don't know. So you're always having to adjust. It's like building a puzzle with pieces that you're getting and you're not quite sure what you're building. So that's a very unique challenge. Whereas film, it's like the whole thing and you just kind of do it. But I like both.
And then we have a question right here.
Hi. I admit I don't know a lot of your newer stuff, but I'm a huge Tudors fan.
Thank you very much.
I was just wondering what that was like.
That was a fantastic experience. I was literally sitting in an acting workshop, and my agent phoned me. He's like, "Hey man, what are you doing right now?" I'm in an acting workshop. He's like, "There's a producer and director that want to meet you for this new show." I was like, "Okay, when?" "Now." "Oh, all right." So I get on my bicycle and I zip down the street and I meet these guys at a bar. And I'm sitting there and they're talking to me about this show. It's historical, King Henry, and they're like, "You do a British accent?" "Yeah." So I start doing British. And we talk about sports and horseback riding and pentathlon and the sport I used to do. And all of a sudden they're like, "Yeah, we'd like to fly you to New York on the weekend for a screen test." I'm like, "All right, sure, can I see scripts?" And so it happened literally that fast. And it was all because of a great producer in Toronto called Sheila Hawken, who I'd worked with before, who does the post-supervising on, she's done The Tudors, she did Vikings, she did Borges, and she knew my work and she's like, "You should meet this guy." And that weekend I was in New York, and the next week I was in Ireland. And it was fantastic. I mean, it was 5 months in Ireland, working with fantastic people. Sam Neill, Jonathan, Gabrielle Anwar, Henry Cavill.
I'm a Henry fan.
Yeah, Jeremy Northam. That first season was really fantastic. And Natalie Dormer, who's now doing Game of Thrones. It was a great group and a really great show to work on. I hope to work with them again at some point.
You were amazing in that show. It's not fun to do in that show.
You like bisexual men, do you?
You should have seen what she said before you got here.
All right. Any character you want to be, past, present, what would you choose to be? If you could choose to be anything.
I tend not to think about things like that, like what characters I would like to be. That's a really tough one. I mean, I really enjoyed playing. Dyson's my first sort of superhuman character, and I really enjoyed that. It's a lot of energy work, and it's a different sort of place. You have to put yourself in a different place, and it's really fun. I grew up reading fantasy sci-fi novels like Dragonlance and Lord of the Rings. Absolutely. And I've played in those. I'm an only child too, so I would literally go around the forest with my dog and my fake bow and arrow, fighting goblins or whatever.
My son does the same thing.
Yeah, and so when I'm playing these parts that allow my imagination to fill those sort of worlds, it's really joyful for me. So.
Okay, I got another
Give me a sword, give me a horse, and I'll do the game.
What kind of horse? Yeah.
It's got
4-legged?
17 hands and eyes, so I don't look like a monster.
Probably not 6'3", aren't you?
6'2".
My son wants to become an actor. And what advice would you give him?
How old is he?
He's 9.
Wait. Child actors there's some really gifted ones, but I find the industry is pretty tough on kids and the parents. There's a lot of weird pressures and expectations put on. There obviously we need kid actors, and if you're really driven for it, go for it. But you want to get into this industry when you have a little bit of you can take with a grain of salt and you don't get overwhelmed by it, or you have parents who can really bear you against all of the BS that there's out there when you get into this world. but yeah, you know, acting is like believe in yourself, believe in it, really be passionate about it, and persevere. It took me 10 years to get really good. Now I'm only kind of good. It's 20 years ago.
I think you're great. Thank you for that great question. Castiel?
So what's the funniest moment that's happened on set to you on the set of Lost Girl?
Well, funniest. There's been a lot of good ones. I think we were doing a scene, and I think it was season 1's episode 4, and there's a shack has exploded, and all of these skulls have come out of it, and it was literally a free-for-all of skulls. So we were sitting there in the middle of the scene talking, and like a foam skull would just clunk right up. Like, okay, let's try that again. Lots of skulls, and you just kind of were like you're literally acting like this. But you know, there's so many good ones. You know, like Rick struggling with his really fake scientific clients. Anna walking into things. And Zoe Palmer's just a total true to have her at. I mean, she's one of the funniest women I've ever met. So it's a lot of fun on the set.
We have one question right here. Thank you for that great question, Cass.
Hi. So you're prepping for season 4. Can you talk a little bit about what you do to prep and how much that you can bring in that's organic from you as you're developing Dyson for the season, and how much is set through the script and the director?
It's an interesting question because the rotating directors on series television kind of limits the director's influence. The big sort of the arcing choices come between the writers and the actor themselves. And as far as what I can bring to it, I mean, it's kind of the thing about the alchemy of acting. It's, you know, you're yourself. You can only have what you have, what you are to bring to it in certain ways, but you have to choose what to present for the character. So I mean, you say, what do I organically bring to Dyson? Like everything. But am I Dyson? No, not at all. You know, it's that weird thing with acting.
Well, I mean, like, what parts of it are like picking taff from your teeth? That was an ad lib.
Yeah.
How much of that is something that you're kind of finding in the moment? How much of that is you're thinking, oh, this is what I'm doing? What can I do to make it more in depth?
You have to follow the story. You know, the scripts, because this Lost Girl scripts are pretty complicated, like in a very fast movie. So you can't be self-indulgent very often. So you know, you try to bring as much interesting, authentic things to these moments, and not just be, you know, facilitating the story. So, and that's a challenge that every actor has. You know, how do I find myself in the script, or what can I bring to this? So it's not just the words on the paper.
And how do you prep when you're raring up to start the new season before the first table read? You know, what are you thinking about as you're approaching the new season?
I crack a bottle of tequila.
I approve.
Put on a Speedo.
Okay, I asked for that a little bit.
I mean, I think we're going to season 4 now, so the big character prep for me was going into season 1, where I was like really figuring out Dyson's physicality. You know, like I did, you know, like weird, embarrassing actor stuff where you walk around your apartment like an animal. What would it be like if I was a wolf? Like, you're not going to be a wolf in me. Can I sneak my own butt? Gotta do yoga. It's a mixed bag of all kinds of stuff, and you know, some of it is energy work. I really love using energy stuff. Like I did a bunch of different martial arts in my life, so like, you know, just getting that chi up there. Like we talk about chi as a fictional thing, but it's not. Like our energy it's a very tangible thing, and it's very useful to us. So that's what I like doing with Dyson. It's like you've probably heard that like I'll growl or something for a scene, or like really get my energy up, and that's what I'm doing, getting my chi up.
Thanks.
Anyway,
We have a question right here, and then it comes to go over there. Go ahead.
Okay. Hi. Do you watch much TV yourself, and is there anything that's like a must-see show for you?
I don't watch a lot of TV, and it's because I'm a mimic. So when I see something, I'm affected by it. So I try to keep my influences. If Lost Girl someday does finish, I'm going to be on Game of Thrones. Come hell or high water. I don't know. I mean, honestly, by the time I'm done with Lost Girl, they'll be in a book that isn't even written yet. So, you know.
There's that series keeps going. I think it'll be great. Chip and Horseman and Professor. Okay, we have a question. Go ahead.
Well, I'm a book nerd, so I was wondering what, I know you said you don't have favorites, but kind of your go-to manga, do you have a book in particular that you can go back to over and over and never get bored with it?
The Prophet by Khalil Gibran. I touched on that one a lot. That's, I find as I move through my life, his words have different impact on me and different insights. Still love The Alchemist.
Put it down. I just need to
Yeah. Trying to get into Dostoevsky a bit right now. For those characters, you know. But, I guess for fun, I actually just tweeted this the other day, He Got Her Okay. He's probably my go-to, just pure pleasure and escape. I haven't reread many of his books, but I've got his new one right now. And I don't know if you guys know him, he's a great Canadian author who writes historical fantasy. So yeah, I would say he's my great escape. I mean, I loved The Wheel of Time when I was younger, you know, Robert Jordan. Dragonlance, I read the shit out of that. Yeah, lately I like more of the sort of philosophical stuff. I'm getting more into nonfiction now, so.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you for that question. Yes, Tank Top, I'm sorry.
Tank Top.
Yes.
But Lost Girl's kind of a show with very puritanical values. On the rare.
What?
Have you seen the whole sex on the show? It's your guys together. Is it just completely awkward to do every time, or do you try to have fun with it because it happens so often?
No, I mean, you always try to have fun in the sex scene. Like, it's a lot like the real thing. If you're not having fun, don't do it. You know? Or figure out how to make it fun. Yeah, you know, I get to work with amazing people, you know, like, it's all been with Anna, and Anna is probably one of the loveliest women I've ever met in my life. She's just so gentle and generous, like, she's honestly a total sweetheart, so, we always take care of each other, you know, it's like, you know, upward bits, times, you know, making sure we're all cool and calm, and, but yeah, you know, you always try to have a bit of fun, but because really they're not fun. I mean, you're half naked in a room of strangers, usually a lot of sweaty dudes who are adjusting lights right above your head. And they're like, hey, can you move your ass for a second? So yeah, they're really awkward, not fun, so you try to bring as much as you can.
Thank you so much. And now the question, the gentleman right there, yes, with the field. I was the same question.
You guys with sex on your minds.
It's your fault.
I was wondering if there's any fae from the show you could choose to be. What would you choose?
You know, I'm pretty happy with Dyson. I love the shape-shifting. I love the I love the things that Dyson has allowed me to explore as an actor. I mean, Paul Amos, Max, everyone, you know, you gotta love that. But it's more, like, his power's alright, but I think it's what Paul does with his character that's also real one of effects. Yeah, you know, I've always enjoyed the idea of shape-shifting, you know, even as a kid, you know. So, yeah, I think I'll stick with Dyson. I'm good.
Now we have one question here. Go ahead, sir.
Who's the biggest practical joker on set?
Probably me. I do things like I'll walk into a scene with a guitar, singing some raunchy song. I've been known to walk on set without my pants on. Yeah, you know, but there's reason. It's because Anna and Ksenia they have to work so bloody hard that they don't usually have time for practical jokes. And Zoe's also a hell of a joker too, but hers are more the intellectual. I'm the more physical comedy. She's like the smart side. I'm the slip on banana peel guy. So yeah, it just comes down to I have a little more time on my hands. And Anna's always like, Kris, don't put your pants on. Trying to get the scene done, just put your pants on. But we have fun.
Thank you so much. That was a great question. Go ahead over here.
Well, first off, I wanted to say that you do have a really positive aura, and you're extremely fan-friendly, which is kind of unique. So, congratulations. And
Thank you. I love you.
My question is, I'm a mother of a 4-year-old, so is it a dilemma for you, for your child, does he know what you do for a living, and
yeah, he knows what I do.
that you have adoring fans that...
He's not aware of Skylar's my son, and he watches, his favorite TV is BBC. He knows David Attenborough's voice, like, he can pick it out of a crowd. So when he knows about, what he knows about my TV is, he knows I play a werewolf, and he knows it's play. He thinks of it as that I go and play, which is not far off from the truth. But he's not aware of this stuff yet at all, and as far as, he'll become aware of it when the time is right, you know.
Are you sheltered from it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I believe in honesty. It's just like, hey, this is what I do, and I like to tell him as much as I understand about the world. I think he's pretty much. They're pretty ready to absorb. They just absorb. I've always thought of parenting as kind of like we're climbing up this ladder towards whatever humanity's going towards, and like the parent can only make it so far, and he's carrying the kid on his back, and it kind of has to push the kid up, and it's like we're all learning from each other, right? So I don't want to hold back from him,
Do you think they'll fall in your footsteps?
I don't know. I think he's definitely a very confident, outgoing young fella, but he's science-minded right now. He's like, he loves the oceans, and he's really into the BBC stuff. He's talking about what did he say? He's like, oh God, I'm drawing a blank. He knows more about the scientific needs of dinosaurs than I do. But yeah, no, I'm sort of nudging him towards science. It's save humanity, sort of that sort of journey. Go, save us from pollution and tyranny, all that kind of stuff. Easy stuff to put on. He's a good guy.
Thank you for that question. We're going to go over to this end. She's been patiently waiting.
Hello.
You've done a lot of projects with some of the same characters, Lost Girl, Zoe, and Paul.
Yeah.
So is there something that you find that, being that you've worked on so many projects together, that allows you to bring something different, like to Lost Girl?
Because we have so many relationships, our relationship is tight. Yeah, I mean, chemistry and on-screen relationships are very similar to personal. They kind of work together. So, for instance, when Lena Rosler came on to play.
Tiara.
Thank you.
I won't tell her.
You got them back.
I try. There's only so much I can do, man.
We literally had met on that Thursday or Friday. We were filming on Monday, and we're like, shit, we have to have a 1,000-year-old relationship. So we immediately went out, bought a bottle of wine, and just sat there and read script and got a little drunk together because it's amazing how alcohol can facilitate a quick relationship.
More ways than one.
Professionals, come on. But yeah, so that's an example of how we had to sort of fast forward a relationship. But with Paul and Zoe and over 4 seasons, all of us, we've just developed such great interpersonal, real relationships that totally transcends and goes over into the parts we play. The comfort we have with each other, the trust. A lot of the times, when you have to fake it in acting, that's when the audience goes, bullshit. But, we don't have to anymore. So it's actually, you know, the real is kind of gelling with the fictional in Lost Girl in many ways. And in some ways it makes our job easier, because like, yeah, Lauren and I, or Zoe and I, or Ann and I can be sitting at that bar after, you know, like doing one of those scenes. I don't want to get philosophical about film, but maybe I will actually. Film philosophy 101. Because like film, it's capturing energy, right? Whether it's light energy or, you know, it's a reflection. It's a basically takes things, absorbs it, and presents it back at you. And human interaction energy is the same thing. So however we feel with each other, it gets absorbed and redirected out in a digital way, but we can interpret it. That's the thing I find so amazing about TV and the internet now. It's like Skype. Think about it. You're looking at each other through all these digital. You know, we'll be compressed in these little wires shooting across the country, but we can still emotionally respond to each other, and I find that fascinating. Learning out on myself.
We like it because actually you and I are one day apart.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Really? High five. It just keeps getting better, doesn't it?
We have time for one more question, and then we have to wrap.
In choosing your roles, do you ever worry about becoming typecast? Like, would you ever do another werewolf character or anything similar to anything you've ever done before? Or
You know,
would you shy away?
I haven't had to worry about that much up until now. Yeah. And I probably wouldn't do another werewolf role for a while. You know, I would definitely do superhero roles, but the werewolf, yeah, I think I gotta give it a little time to cool off, but I'm gonna keep doing that guy. So yeah, it's something to consider for sure.
Now, before we close, I'd like to know, and so would they, any new projects that are coming out that we can talk a little bit about?
Yeah, sure. After I wrapped season 3 of Lost Girl, I went off to film this lovely little independent called The Returned, or El Retornado, as some of you in Spanish term. And yeah, it's a really, I'm hopeful for this film. It's a Spanish-Canadian co-film. Sort of takes place in a post-zombie world, tragic love story. The trailer looks good. But you can make a kick-ass 90-second trailer out of 90 minutes of film pretty easily. So fingers crossed, though. It was kind of a heartfelt project. You know, everyone really committed to it. And yeah, my hopes are high. It'll be doing the festivals in the fall, and then probably released early winter, sort of that. Something around there.
We look forward to that. Now, tell us, where will you be? Will you be at your booth next? You don't know, probably.
Yeah, I need to get my blood sugar level up high, and I don't think that this is the smart way to do it. So I'm going to go get some fruit, maybe a granola bar. Isn't that exciting? And then I will be back. Yes, to meet any and all of you who would like to come by and say hello.
Can I just say you are delightful? Delightful.
I love the city. I walked around last night for the first time in my life around Philadelphia. It's a beautiful city. So,
Did you go to Chusick?
yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah?
South Street.
South Street.
All right. I'll check it out. That's what is it, your city hall?
Hey,
That thing is incredible.
dance.
Huh?
Process that dance.
Oh, shoot. All right. You all got to get up and do it with me. I don't even remember how I did it. Yo, check it out. You guys do it. Come on.
No, one, back and forth.
Chris, too hungry like a wolf. Hungry like a wolf.
Not too hungry like a wolf. Not doing it.
So you sit there.
Nice to meet you all.